In most spaceship games, you will see many enemies in each level, and the enemies appear at certain points in time, so the person that created those levels decided which enemies were going to appear at which times, and then once you complete the level, you move on to the next level. In this and the follow-up videos, we'll be implementing all of that functionality. It will be done step by step because it's a complex thing to do in just one video. So, what I'll address in this particular video has to do with how we're going to recycle enemies in our pool of objects. Let's take a look at our bullet pool of objects. Once we recycle a bullet, we use the reset method, which is part of the sprite class in Phaser, and we specify coordinates x, y. The other parameter that reset has is a third one, and it's for health. So normally in Phaser, and this is built in, you can easily reset a sprite's x, y, and health. But think of our enemies. They have more than just those three things. We might have a green enemy, and then we might want to turn it into a red enemy. So there's also the asset key that we need to enter in this reset method. We can obviously add it manually afterwards, but we want to do it all in one method. There is also the speed in X, the speed in Y, and also the scale, because in this game we enter a scale for different enemies, so we can have huge enemies that use the same sprite as a small one, but it's scaled so that it's bigger. So, the approach we will follow is similar to what we did with the damage method. We're basically going to go to enemy.js and do the same thing that we did with damage, which is to call the parent damage method and then do our own thing. We'll do the same thing now, but for reset. So, we'll type in space hipster dot enemy dot prototype dot reset function. This function will receive x, it will receive y, the health, which are the normal things that reset receives, but also it will receive the asset key, the scale, speed x, and speed y. Let's close this with a semicolon. Okay, so the first thing we'll call the parents method. Sprite.prototype .reset.call, and we will call it, we'll give it the current context, we will give it x, y, and health. So that's calling the normal sprite reset method. And now it's time for us to do our own thing. Let's start with the texture. This.setTexture, and this will be the key. So that will change the image. Then we need to change the scale. This.scale.set to the new value, which is scale. Also, the body velocity.x will be equal to speed x, and the same thing for y. Okay, so let's try this. Also, I made the enemy so that it doesn't move, so I changed its speed and velocity to x in y to 0. Otherwise, we'll kill it and we won't be able to find out what happened. So how am I going to test this? I'm going to do it through command through the console. I'm going to type space hipster dot gamestate dot. Oh yeah, I also, instead of having var enemy, I changed it to this.enemy so that we can access it from here. So dot enemy, and then this will give me the enemy sprite. So I'm going to apply this reset method. We're going to try see if it works. We're going to give it x of 100, y of 200, health of 200. The new key will be yellow enemy instead of green enemy, which is the current. It will have a speed in x of 10 and speed in y of 50. So we cannot set the property x of undefined. So we have an error somewhere. So we had the problem that I was typing in set texture when the method is actually load texture. So now with the correct one, it should work. So let's try again. Space hipster dot game state dot enemy dot reset 100, 200, then for the health 200, the key will be yellow, enemy, then scale will be 2, the speed will be on X will be 10 and on Y will be 30. So we scaled it, we changed the position, and if I touch and it starts moving again, we'll see that it also has the speed that we defined. So as you can see, we have now a custom reset method for us to use. To summarize, reset allows you to, in any sprite, to change quickly the X, the Y, and the health. In our case, we wanted to have some other things, so we had two choices. One of them was to just use the normal reset and then manually add some extra methods, some extra statements to change the other aspects. The other one was to create our own reset method that has some extra parameters and then do the normal sprite reset method call and then do our own thing to change the texture, the scale, and the velocity of the body.